Imagine standing in front of a massive Victorian mansion just as evening begins to fall. The sky is fading into dark blue, and a cold breeze moves through the tall trees around you. Fog creeps along the ground, slowly wrapping itself around the house like fingers reaching for something lost. The windows look like empty eyes staring back at you, unblinking and silent. There's no welcoming feeling here, no warmth. Instead, the house feels tense, as if it knows you are watching it. This is the Winchester Mystery House, a place where logic breaks down and fear seems to live inside the walls. A house filled with staircases that lead nowhere, doors that open into nothing, and rooms that seem built only to confuse. From the very first glance, one thought begins to form in your mind. This house was not built for normal reasons. As you step inside, the air feels heavy, almost thick, like it hasn't moved in years. The floor creaks softly beneath your feet, even though no one else is around. A staircase appears in front of you, rising confidently upward, only to stop suddenly at the ceiling. Nearby, a door opens outward, but there is no floor beyond it, only a dangerous drop. The house feels like a puzzle with no solution. Every hallway twists unexpectedly. Every room seems slightly wrong. And slowly, a chilling idea settles in. Someone built this place on purpose. Someone believed these strange designs were necessary for survival. That person was Sarah Winchester. She was once one of the wealthiest women in America, living a life that many could only dream of. But behind the money and privilege was a story filled with pain. Sarah lost her infant daughter shortly after birth, a loss that shattered her emotionally. Years later, her husband died suddenly from illness, leaving her completely alone. These losses broke something deep inside her. The silence of her life became unbearable, and grief slowly turned into fear. Her wealth came from the Winchester rifle, a weapon used in wars and violence across the country. Sarah began to believe that the bloodshed connected to her fortune had consequences, and those consequences were coming for her. According to legend, Sarah became convinced that the spirits of people killed by Winchester rifles were haunting her family. Night after night, she felt watched. Shadows seemed to move where none should exist. Sounds echoed through empty rooms. Desperate for answers, she turned to a spiritual medium. What she heard during that seance would define the rest of her life. The medium claimed the spirits were angry and restless, demanding a home. They told Sarah that as long as she kept building, she would live, but the moment construction stopped, the spirits would take her life. Terrified, Sarah believed every word. Soon after, she left everything behind and moved west to California, purchasing a small farmhouse. But from the moment she arrived, the house began to change. Construction started immediately and never stopped. Day and night, for nearly 38 years, workers built nonstop. There were no plans, no final vision. Sarah gave instructions daily, sometimes ordering entire sections torn down just days after they were completed. Rooms were added for no clear reason. Hallways ended abruptly. Windows were placed where walls should be. To outsiders, it looked like madness. To Sarah, it was protection. The house grew larger and more confusing with each passing year. Staircases were built with uneven steps, forcing anyone who climbed them to move slowly and carefully. Some believed these stairs were designed to protect Sarah, who suffered from arthritis. Others believed they were meant to confuse spirits, who would lose their balance or sense of direction. Doors were added that opened directly into walls or dropped into open space. Secret passages were hidden behind panels. Some rooms had no purpose at all, sealed off and forgotten. At night, Sarah would choose a different bedroom to sleep in, locking herself inside so no spirit could ever find her. Symbols appeared everywhere, especially the number 13. It was carved into windows, repeated in stair steps, and built into chandeliers. Some rooms had exactly 13 windows. Some staircases had 13 steps, even the drains had 13 holes. Sarah believed numbers had power, and 13, often seen as unlucky, became her shield. Workers whispered about her strange habits. They said she avoided mirrors, believing spirits could travel through reflections. She moved through hidden corridors instead of hallways. At night, she held seances in a dark room, writing down instructions she claimed came directly from the dead. Over time, the mansion stopped feeling like a home at all. It became a living thing, constantly changing, always unfinished. Sarah herself seemed to disappear into it. Workers noticed she barely slept, wandering the halls with a candle or lamp late at night. She rarely spoke about her fears openly, but her actions told the story clearly. Every nail hammered into place was another attempt to stay alive. Every new room was another barrier between her and whatever she believed was chasing her. The house was no longer about shelter, it was about survival. When Sarah Winchester finally died in 1922, something strange happened. Construction stopped instantly. Tools were dropped where they stood. The endless noise that had filled the house for decades vanished. The mansion was left frozen in time, unfinished and unsettling. But many believe Sarah's death did not end the story. Visitors soon began reporting strange experiences. Footsteps echoed through empty rooms. Cold air brushed past people unexpectedly. Some felt watched, even when completely alone. Others claimed to see shadows moving just out of sight. Even today, people describe feeling lost inside the house, as if it subtly shifts around them. Tour guides quietly mention doors that refuse to open and lights that turn on by themselves. Some visitors leave laughing it off. Others leave shaken, unable to explain what they felt. Whether these experiences are imagination or something darker, the atmosphere of the Winchester Mystery House remains heavy and disturbing. Today, the mansion stands as one of the strangest buildings ever created. Some see it as the result of grief and guilt consuming a broken mind. Others believe Sarah Winchester truly was protecting herself from something unseen. The house never explains itself. Its staircases still lead nowhere. Its doors still open into emptiness. And as the sun sets and shadows stretch across its twisted halls, one final thought lingers: maybe the house was never meant to keep ghosts out. Maybe it was built to keep something trapped inside. And it's still waiting.